Vane, it's 4 stories tall. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It has legs, like a building that decided to go for a walk.
The Colossus has already destroyed 2 police response vehicles and is bearing down on the civilian evacuation perimeter. Vane, the Dean wants options, preferably ones that exist.
I've got a targeting lock from the Ministry's emergency drone. 1 missile, Vane! 1. I'm really begging you.
Cooper, what do you know about the structural relationship between size and weight?
I know that thing weighs approximately the same as my deepest regret about taking this assignment, which is considerable.
Galileo sorted this out in 1638. The Colossus' designers presumably did not read it. Physics, you see, doesn't care how much money you spend building something. It only cares about the math. 6 hours earlier, London.
Come on. I updated the firmware this morning. The firmware is fresh. Why are you not reading my retina?
It is reading your retina, Cooper. It simply doesn't find the experience rewarding.
Sloan, I have level 4 clearance and a briefing in 4 minutes.
You have provisional level 4 clearance, which is currently suspended because you filed your equipment damage report for the Oslo incident in the wrong triplicate again.
There were 3 of those forms, and they were identical.
Then you should have had no trouble filling them all out correctly.
Morning, Sloan.
You look like a man who fell into the Thames.
More London's fountains decided to make an impression. 2 jets, ultimately.
I see you've kept the watch.
It kept perfect time underwater, as it has always done. To the scanner. Good morning.
It doesn't even scan him. It knows.
The Ministry recognizes reliability, Cooper. Try filing your paperwork.
Vane, good of you to come in from the rain. Baron Alistair Kincaid, tell me what you know.
Scottish born. 12 billion in infrastructure capital. Holds patents in 31 countries on load-bearing megastructure design. Notoriously contemptuous of anything he considers small-scale thinking. Has a penthouse in Singapore and a well-documented ego, measurable on the Richter scale.
What I am about to show you has been designated Sovereign Priority 1.
Is that a robot?
Kincaid calls it the Colossus, a fully autonomous bipedal security platform, 12 meters tall, 800 metric tons of articulated military-grade steel, designed per Kincaid's own manifesto to, and I quote, render conventional policing obsolete and enforce order at civilizational scale.
800 tons for a 12-meter frame. Kincaid hasn't built a robot. He's built a problem that hasn't fully introduced itself yet.
He built a giant robot to police the world.
He built several. The Colossus is the prototype. Tonight, he unveils it at a private demonstration in Singapore, Gardens by the Bay. 40 guests, all of them the sort of defense ministers and arms buyers who find this sort of thing appealing.
If the demonstration succeeds, we have confirmed buyers in 4 separate conflict zones within the fortnight. Vane, I need this demonstration to fail. Quietly, elegantly, and without starting a diplomatic incident.
These joints, they're venting coolant.
The joints rely on cryogenic pre-stress. Without the thermal contraction, the load path opens and the bearing loses alignment.
Without it, the math reasserts itself.
What does that mean?
It means Kincaid has built something very large and assumed size alone is an argument. Galileo would be amused.
You have 1 insertion window. Kincaid travels by cable car from Marina Bay Sands to the Gardens. I suggest you find your way onto his command vessel before he arrives.
Singapore in monsoon season. I'll need a dryer coat.
Adhesive microcharges, 1 monocular, and your transit credentials. The cable car schedule is inside, printed, on paper. I anticipated your preferences.
Sloan, you are the most competent person in any building I have ever entered.
I know. Try not to fall into any more fountains.
4 hours later, Singapore. Harbor approach, 43 meters above sea level.
Vane, Kincaid's gondola is 2 cars ahead of you. His mobile command barge is directly below. It's moving to track the cable car route. You've got a 40-second window before it passes out of drop range.
Confirmed. Distance?
11.4 meters to hull surface, closing at 3 meters per second, wind lateral 4 knots northeast, optimum release 17 seconds.
17.
Are you opening the... Vane, I have a grapple launcher. I could have brought you a grapple launcher.
Grapple launchers require charging, Cooper.
Every single time he just falls places, and it works.
Ladies and gentlemen, ministers, architects of the coming order, tonight you will witness the end of the age of small solutions. The Colossus does not negotiate. It does not tire. It does not err. It is, in every sense, beyond scale.
Vane, I'm watching the feed from the gardens. It's walking. The thing is actually walking. It just stepped over a super tree.
41 civilians still inside the evacuation perimeter. Vane, time is a factor.
I need the primary coolant relay for the right leg assembly. Sloan, which deck?
Subdeck 3, aft. It'll be the loudest thing on the ship. You'll know it by the cold.
Temperature, Barren.
Ambient temperature minus 14 Celsius. Primary coolant line confirmed. Bearing 270. 3 meters.
There you are.
Vane, I'm pulling up a missile authorization from the Ministry drone. One button. I just need you to say the word.
Cooper,
Yes?
what happens to a missile strike on 800 tons of military steel in the middle of a public garden?
Suboptimal outcomes.
We are going to let the Colossus defeat itself. Removes the adhesive charge, the size of a matchbox. One charge, one vent, 30 seconds.
The charge went off. Nothing happened. Vane, nothing happened.
Wait,
The right knee joint it's discoloring. The metal is...
warming, just a fraction. The coolant is gone from that joint. Without it, the alloy loses its artificial rigidity. Not much. It doesn't need to be much.
It just sat down.
It didn't sit down, Cooper. Its own weight snapped the joint. Vane. That was rather elegant.
What is happening? Is someone get me a status report?
Baron Kincaid, your machine appears to have discovered Galileo.
The demonstration guests have dispersed. Kincaid is in ministry custody pending extradition. No civilian casualties. No diplomatic incident. And I'm told, no missile fired.
I had the missile ready.
This is precisely why we have Vane Cooper.
Your extraction flight leaves Changi in 90 minutes. I've sent the gate information, printed, again.
Sloan, the Colossus. It truly was extraordinary engineering.
It was, just not quite extraordinary enough.
No, it never is when you ignore the fundamentals. Checking his watch. 90 minutes is comfortable. I thought I might see the Jewel waterfall first. I hear it's rather good.
You're going sightseeing. We just stopped a giant robot and you're going sightseeing.
Cooper, we are in Singapore. The Jewel waterfall is 40 meters tall and entirely self-sustaining on recaptured rainwater. It is, in every meaningful sense, a triumph of understanding what size actually does. Kincaid could learn something from it, if he weren't in custody. The square cube law. Galileo described it in 1638, and it remains one of the most quietly devastating facts in all of engineering. Here's the principle. When you scale any object upward in size, its volume, and therefore its weight, grows with the cube of its dimensions. But its surface area, and critically, the cross-sectional strength of its structural supports, only grows with the square. Consider a human leg bone. It is perfectly sized to carry a human body. Now imagine you wanted a person 10 times taller. They would be 1,000 times heavier. But their bones would only be 100 times stronger. The result? Catastrophic structural failure. The giant simply cannot stand. Nature knows this, which is why the largest land animals, elephants, have legs like load-bearing columns. They are nearly solid bone. There's no room left for elegance. The Colossus's designers knew this, of course. Their solution was cryogenic pre-stress. Joints held in artificial alignment by extreme cold. The thermal contraction doing the structural work that the metal alone could not. Clever, but temporary. Remove the cold and the load path opens. The bearing loses alignment. At which point 800 tons of ambition discovers, quite suddenly, that it weighs 800 tons. The lesson, as ever, is not that large things are impossible. It is that the universe charges a compounding fee for scale, and the invoice always arrives. Physics does not care about your budget.
Wadi Rum, Vane, a rogue operative, a signal jammer, and a rock formation the size of a cathedral between you and it.
Vane, you cannot shoot around a rock. That is not a thing.
Kwanda disagreed in 1930 to try to keep up.